What if I told you there's a motorcycle that can take you from your morning rush hour commute straight into the backcountry wilderness without skipping a beat? No trailer, no second bike, no excuses. And it'll do all of that for under 7 grand. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, stick around because today on MotoMetrics, we're breaking down the 2026 Kawasaki KLR650. And by the end of this video, you're either going to want one or you're going to wish you'd bought one sooner. Let's get into it. The KLR650 is not a new name in the motorcycle world. This thing has been around since the 1980s, and somehow, some way, it keeps showing up every single year. Why? Because it works, plain and simple. Kawasaki brought the KLR back with a massive overhaul in 2022. Fuel injection, new frame, new tech, and for 2026, they've kept that winning formula intact. No dramatic changes, no reinvention of the wheel, just a proven, reliable machine that gets the job done. Now, before we go any further, let's talk about who this bike is actually built for, because this is important. If you're a track day warrior looking for horsepower bragging rights, close this tab. But if you're a commuter who also daydreams about disappearing down a dirt road on a Friday afternoon, keep watching. This bike was made for you. All right, let's start under the tank. The 2026 KLR650 is powered by a 652cc fuel-injected, liquid-cooled single cylinder. Now, a single cylinder, some of you just cringed, I see you, but hear me out. This thing makes 40 horsepower and 39 pound-feet of torque, and that torque comes in low and early, right where you need it in the real world. We're talking smooth pulls off stoplights, confident highway cruising, and the kind of grunt that gets you through muddy two-tracks without drama. It's not going to win a drag race against a leader bike. Nobody's pretending it will, but it'll outlast most of them when the road gets rough and the pavement disappears entirely. The fuel injection system uses a 40mm throttle body and delivers predictable, crisp throttle response whether you're at sea level or high up in the mountains. No carburetor jetting, no altitude adjustment headaches, just twist and go. That alone is worth celebrating for a dual sport at this price point. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The 2026 KLR650 sits on a high-tensile double-cradle steel frame, and it comes with long travel suspension, 7.9 inches of front travel and 7.3 inches of rear travel. For a dual sport under $7,000, that is genuinely impressive. That suspension setup means this bike absorbs potholes, gravel roads, and trail bumps without rattling your spine into submission. It's not a full-on dirt bike, but it's far more capable off-road than most bikes in this class and price range. Speaking of price, let's talk numbers because this is where the KLR650 absolutely demolishes the competition. The base model starts at just $6,999, the ABS version $7,299, and the fully loaded Adventure ABS trim, which comes factory fitted with side cases, fog lamps, engine guards, a radiator guard, USB charging ports, and a DC outlet. That's the one for the riders who want to go full expedition mode right out of the dealership. All of that, and you still won't need to take out a second mortgage. Can your BMW GS say the same? Oh, wait. Okay, let's talk about everyday livability, because a motorcycle isn't just about the spec sheet. The KLR650 runs a massive 6.1-gallon fuel tank. 6.1 gallons, people! Combined with its fuel efficiency, you're looking at a serious range before your next fuel stop. For long-distance riders and commuters alike, that is a game changer. Nobody wants to stop for gas every 100 miles on a road trip through Nevada. The cockpit is clean and functional. You get an all-digital, multi-function instrument panel with a fuel gauge, gear position indicator, and all the essentials laid out clearly. The LED headlight is bright and modern, and the adjustable 2-position windshield helps you manage wind fatigue on longer hauls, something that matters a lot more than people think after hour 3 on the highway. Now, here's the thing nobody talks about enough with the KLR650, the ergonomics. The seat height sits at 34.3 inches, which is tall. Shorter riders, you'll want to test sit this one before buying. But for average to taller riders, the upright riding position is genuinely comfortable for hours on end. Your wrists aren't bent at awkward angles, your back isn't hunched over like you're racing MotoGP. You're just sitting there, comfortable, covering ground. And the brakes, though? a 300mm front disc and 240mm rear disc with ABS available. The ABS system uses front and rear wheel sensors to modulate brake pressure if wheel lock is detected, which on a mixed surface bike like this, where you're constantly transitioning between pavement and gravel, is a safety feature that earns its price difference every single time. Now, no bike is perfect, and the KLR650 isn't trying to hide its compromises. At around 456 pounds curb weight, it's on the heavier side for a single-cylinder machine. Experienced adventure riders stepping down from bigger bikes might find it perfectly manageable, but newer riders should factor that weight into the equation, especially on technical off-road terrain. And the 5-gear basket, while smooth, does leave you wishing for a 6th gear at highway speeds when the engine is spinning a little faster than it'd like to. But here's the bottom line, and this is what we always come back to on MotoMetrics: value, real-world value. The 2026 KLR650 gives you fuel injection, ABS, long travel suspension, a massive fuel tank, solid electronics, and a proven engine, all for under $7,200. There's no other bike on the American market right now that checks all those boxes at that price. Not one. Whether you're carving up canyon roads on the weekend, splitting lanes in the city on a Tuesday, or plotting a cross-country route through the Rockies, the KLR650 does not flinch. It's the kind of bike that makes you a better, more confident rider simply because it handles whatever you throw at it without complaint. And by the way, stick around to the end of this video, because there's one more thing about the KLR650 that we haven't talked about yet, and it might be the most important factor when deciding if this is the right bike for you. So, is the 2026 Kawasaki KLR650 the best dual sport under $8,000 in America right now? Based on everything we've covered, the engine, the value, the range, the suspension, the versatility, it's one of the strongest arguments you can make. Kawasaki didn't reinvent the KLR for 2026 because they didn't need to. They built something that works, and they kept building it. That's not laziness, that's confidence. If you're seriously considering this bike, do yourself a favor and get to a dealership and throw a leg over one. Sit on it, feel the ergonomics, because a spec sheet can only tell you so much. The rest, you feel in the seat. Now, if you enjoyed this breakdown and you want to keep exploring the best bikes for your riding style and budget, go ahead and check out the video on your screen right now. We've got more MotoMetrics reviews lined up that you're going to want to watch before making your next big decision. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next one. Ride safe.